Oh, hey peeps and pups. Welcome to something new I'm going to be doing called Firefly Chats, where we're going to set up camp by a fireplace this isn't a fireplace, this is a campfire, and we're just going to chat. I want to do this as a way to engage with my community and the people watching not just my TikTok content, but my branded content over on the YouTube channel that I'm going to place a picture of that over there. And I wanted to say to you guys, thank you for being in this community and watching this video. And to those of you who are new, hi, hopefully you stick around. My name is Lex, that is the primary name I'm going to be going by, and I just wanted to bring you in to have a quick chat with you. Come on, take a seat. We have marshmallows and everything. Hold on, let me get my marshmallow. Sorry, it's taking me a hot minute. Frick, where's my marshmallow? Well, looks like I'm crap out of luck. I ain't got a marshmallow. Oh, there it is. It's so tiny. Okay. Well, the purpose of my community as a whole is the fact that I've always just wanted to bring you guys, honest opinions about life, my life, and everything. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is how, being in the furry fandom is like, there's a lot of talk around the furry fandom, whether or not furries are good people, whether or not being a furry makes you an innate bad person, all that fun stuff. Now, personal opinion, because I'm a furry and have a lot of friends who are furries, being a furry doesn't make you an innate bad person, but furries have made a lot of mistakes in their years, I think that it all boils down to how I was brought into the fandom. I was brought into the furry fandom when a group of my friends decided to use our school laptops to find a diet version of E621. Yeah, already a good start. But essentially, I was brought into the furry fandom when a bunch of my friends in school, we had school computers, and a bunch of my friends decided to find an unblocked version of some kind of diet version of E621, and they used it to look at unsavory photos. Now, I was 14. I knew that this was wrong, but I was peer pressured into it. And everyone else gravitated towards looking at furry versions of Lola Bunny or Samantha from Adventure Time. I have a very specific friend that's going to get why I'm specifying Samantha from Adventure Time. He knows who he is, but I wasn't gravitating towards that. I gravitated towards men. I liked looking at the muscular furry men that I found on this diet version of E621. I'll try to put an image of what the website was here so you guys can see. But yeah, this website specifically was unblocked on my school computers, and my fellow students used it to look at unsavory photos. And that was my experience of my first experience with the furry fandom. And I gravitated towards one character specifically, Sebastian Alexander Salt, or better known as Sea Salt, made by Red Rusker. I looked at his comics, and honestly, I'm not proud. I fell into a pipeline, and that's how I became a furry. But other than the Rule 34 side, I was also dragged in by the more cuddly and fluffy side. I found so many wholesome comics and stuff like that due to the fact that I also went to my home computer and said, I want to find more of these images. Not just the naughty ones, I want to find normal images. So I downloaded Twitter, Rest the Twitter bird's soul. And essentially, through Twitter, I found a whole world of furry content, and that's how I was introduced in the furry fandom. And I think I became at least a half-decent person. Sure, my first experience, it was Rule 34, but, it struck my interest. Next chat that I'm the host at, I will talk about my first experience with the FNAF fandom. That is an interesting story. Well, it's getting cold. I think I'm going to head inside. Alright, well, let me put my fire out. Let's say it's out, technically. Thank you for joining me for today's Firefly chat.